Super Smash Bros. Has finally been announced for the Nintendo Switch, baby. Let the fucking hype ensue once more. The Smash Switch reveal trailer shook the internet, and I'm definitely no exception. I mean, holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I'll be honest, I never thought it'd be this soon that we'd get the Smash announcement. I was on the same boat of all the people who would tell everyone to wait because they never announced the next title so soon, but I've never been happier to be wrong. It's coming, and this year no less. That reveal trailer still blows my mind. I'm excited, and I've got a lot of expectations and wishes for yet another installment in my favorite fighting game franchise, and a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. How can the next Smash Bros. Be the best one yet and perfect a series already filled to the brim with a ton of polish? Well, let me give you all my input. As someone who's played every single entry, I think I can give some good insight and maybe give some ideas that you haven't all thought about and would enjoy. Either way, I'm talking anyway, so get over it. These are my Super Smash Bros. Switch wishes. Swishes? Switches? I try to be clever. First off, we've got to answer the big question. Should the Super Smash Bros. Switch game be an updated port of the one for the Wii U? Or rather, will it be a port? After all, that one was full of content, had over 50 characters, some of the best balancing yet, and could take hundreds if not thousands of hours to complete. It can't get any better than this, so just update it a bit. Right? There are tons of other Wii U ports, so this one should be no exception. Yeah, no, I don't want this to be a port at all. This is Smash Bros, people. We don't get these often, and these should be unique to each system. Now, if we get a new game on top of getting the Wii U imported, that's cool, but I really don't want our one Smash Bros to be a retread of a game we have for the Wii U that's fine as is. It's not just my opinion, though. There are quite a lot of arguments for this being a completely new game that had me convinced. I won't go over all of them, but here are some of the ones that convinced me the most. In the trademark crap, the words original game are used to describe it, which I don't think they'd use on an updated port. Not only that, but the time period between this upcoming game and Smash 4 is similar to the amount of time it took to develop Smash 4, meaning that the developers had the needed time to make a new game. I truly believe that this next Smash will be a completely new title on top of already hoping that it will be. So keep the context of this being a new Smash Bros game in mind throughout the rest of the video, because that's what I want, that's what I believe, and that's what I'll be talking about. Super Smash Bros for Wii U was great, but as the title says, let's just have it on the Wii U. Speaking of the title, that's another thing I won't fix in the next one. Let's not call it Smash Bros for Switch. That's lame. And it doesn't work on the pun. You know, Smash 4 Wii U. It's the fourth title in the series. Yeah. Smash 5 Switch doesn't sound much better, so that's out. What could it be? Super Smash Bros. Rumble? Scuffle? Fisticuffs? Ooh, Smash Bros. NX would be cool, like a play off the Switch's codename. Give us something cool again, like Melee or Brawl. Something grand and epic like those. Let's not get lazy with our titles because no one likes that, right? You know what else they've gotten lazy with? The intro. Remember when those were the hypest shit ever? Super Smash Bros. 64 was great with introducing the characters you could play as, and even had silhouettes for the unlockable characters. Melee was even better, having amazing music, unique CG cutscenes, introduces the characters you can play as, making them look cool. It was glorious. And it's still my favorite intro in the series. That's kinda sad though. Where did they go wrong? Well, Brawl was on the right track, giving us more top tier music, but they just used the cutscenes that you would see in the story, so it was kind of underwhelming. Then Smash Bros 3DS didn't even have one, and Smash 4 Wii U just used the cutscenes for character trailers and the same damn music used in the main menu. It's like they aren't even trying anymore. Come on! Get us excited to play the next Smash Bros. These games are a big deal, are they not? Not to say I don't want cutscenes for character trailers or in-game, keep those. I just want us to have a bit more effort put into our opening. And on top of that, why the hell does the announcer not announce the title anymore? That got me hype whenever I'd boot up 64 or Melee, but from Brawl onwards, we got nothing. Let's get an intro with the same level of quality as Melee this time around. I know we can do it. This one's obvious, but we've gotta have GameCube controller support. The Switch can take the GameCube adapter used on the Wii U, so there's really no excuse. We've gotta keep this controller alive, people. I personally would still use the Switch Joy-Cons every now and then, because I think they're comfortable enough, but who knows, I'm still open to buying a GameCube adapter. That controller's comfy as hell too, and the pros shouldn't have to switch, to something completely foreign. Especially with Smash. You know how this fanbase works, people. I love Smash 4 Wii U, but one of my biggest complaints with the game is the UI. This game's menus are... ugh. Brawl got this right, giving us the single player and extra modes in one area and the core smashing in another section. They were all easy to find and the more important modes were bigger as they should be. Here though, it's also, I don't even know. We've got Smash covering half the screen, being that's the main part of the game, whatever, but then Games and More, which consists of the rest of the modes people want to play, is so tiny. It's the same size as Smash Tour, which should be in Games and More in the first place. Also, what does Games and More even mean? What's the more? And why is Smash Tour even a thing? I'm sorry, it's just bad. They got these right in the past, so I'm not sure what happened here. I could go on and on about how bad Smash 4 Wii U's menus are, but just make it good. They were just that in the past, so I'm not too worried. Just don't let this happen again. Please. This new Smash has to be the biggest, best, and most packed entry yet, so I want all past modes returning. The multi-man battles, Target Smash, and Not Angry Birds, Smash Run, and more of course. These modes can take hours of our time, and I want them all to be here. I feel like we need something like this to help beef up the single player, because as Smash 4 showed us, without a story mode things can get very stale in terms of the single player experience very quickly. So give us a lot of modes to mess around in. As for said story mode, don't worry, I'll get back to that one in just a bit. Of course, I'd want any improvements possible made to the bonus modes, like Smash Run for instance. It'd probably have to be split screen, but I don't mind that. The map for Smash Run was big, and I'd die if they kept one screen and zoomed it out to fit everyone. That'd actually be a nightmare. I'd also want to have everyone on one map so players could run into each other and beat the crap out of each other if they so choose. This is how City Trials did it in Kirby Air Ride, and being that Smash Run is based off that mode, might as well include the stuff that made it so great in the first place. Target Smash should also go back to having levels specific for each character. There are a lot of them, I know, and hopefully even more, but making stages made for a specific character is a million times better than having 5 made for everyone. Same for Board the Platforms, which I would love to see make a return as well. Lots of modes, lots of improvements, lots of happiness. Just no Smash Tour. Nobody liked Smash Tour. On top of returning modes though, we've gotta have new ones too. Even if some of the most recent ones have failed tremendously, and by some I mean one, and by one I mean Smash Tour, keep at it and we could have our next new amazing mode. We could start with the ending mini-games on Smash Run. Climbing and racing were all so much fun, and I just wish I could do these in another mode rather than hoping for them at the end of a 5-minute Smash Run. Also, we could take the one thing that Smash Tour did right and have the stock battle where each stock is a different fighter. That was a lot of fun and made battles so much more interesting because it required you to switch up strategies after every KO. This also gave me the idea for tag team battles, where you could switch characters in the middle of battles like something we'd see in any other tag team fighting game. Just an idea I thought I'd throw out there. Lots of potential for fun new modes, so I want to see how they can shake up Smash next without completely changing the gameplay style. Just build off of what we already have and love, smashing. No need to put us on a fucking Mario Party board. Alright, I'm done. I'm not gonna bring it up anymore. Probably. So how about that adventure mode? Look, I love Smash 4. I really do. I've said it multiple times in this video, so it's gotta be true at this point. But the single player was so bare bones and is the biggest flaw I have with the game and the biggest reason why I flip-flop so much between it and Melee. This is because it was lacking any real adventure mode. I prefer the one in Melee and would love to see that one make a return, just maybe under a different name, but I want something like the Subspace Emissary we got in Brawl, only better. Much better. The cutscenes and bosses were all top-notch. Seeing interactions between unlikely characters beyond beating the shit out of each other was nice, and they were all made with a lot of effort and care. Then the bosses had a lot of challenge and gave a new twist on the Smash formula. The only real problem I had was with the level design. Not only did the stages take place in generic locations, but the enemies were also really boring in terms of design. Why not take from the source material and use enemies and locations from the dozens of franchises already here? The reason people love Melee's adventure mode is because the stages all took place in recognizable places with recognizable areas, making the experience a lot more fun and engaging. I'd much rather play as Roy in the Mushroom Kingdom rather than go through Desert Number 2. And let's not forget to have good leveling. Some of the levels in Brawl, not counting the Great Maze, just took an eternity, messing up my experience. I don't want the longest adventure mode ever because by the end I just feel fatigued. We've got to find that sweet spot of enjoyment and substance. Maybe making the final stage not the longest chore in the world is a good start. Subspace Emissary had potential, so let's tap into that and make an adventure mode fulfill the adventure aspect and bring all the characters we know and love together. We all want that, right? Of course we do. Just, you know, done right. Now we get to the actual smashing. Honestly, I don't have any problems with the gameplay in general. It's pretty much at its peak. Smash 4 had a perfect balance between Melee and Brawl speed, and I don't want anything about it to be changed in terms of the mechanics. What I do want changed though is the online. It was terrible on Brawl. It was passable on the 3DS, and on the Wii U, it was pretty good, but it still wasn't quite there. Honestly, it's still greatly flawed all things considered. When playing for Glory 101, it isn't bad, which is good since that's the mode most people play anyway. But when there are 4 players and especially one's items get involved in the mix, the lag most definitely is real. Being that we have to pay for online this time around, I expect some top-notch Wi-Fi and great connection. If Mario Kart Wii can have some of the most stable Wi-Fi I've had the pleasure of experiencing, then so can Smash Switch. That's all I'm saying. And finally, we're left with the characters. First order of business, I want all the characters from the past games to come back. That means all 57 characters in Smash Wii U, including the DLC, and the ones who were left out, even that. So Wolf and Ice Climbers, rejoice! You all can have your rightful seats back. Especially Ice Climbers, because now that we don't have another version of the game holding it back, there's no excuse to leave them out this time around. If it's at all possible to have Snake back, I'd love to see him make a return. But this is Konami, so who even knows if he'll come home again. We'll miss you, soldier. Just not Pichu. He's actually terrible and nobody misses him. I mean, really? A technically worse Pikachu that even the game doesn't recommend? Come on, guys. Even if we have all these returning characters, I don't want them to just copy and paste like always. Let me get ambitious for a second. Link's returning as his Breath of the Wild variant, and this has brought up an interesting thought. What if all the returning characters had completely different movesets? I mean, let's be honest, a lot of these characters have been doing the same damn attacks for years, and there's so much more material they could be using. I would love to see at least the veterans from 64 Melee get new attacks. Mario could get cool moves from the Galaxy games in Odyssey. Luigi could be more than just a Mario clone. He does have his own games after all. Link, being our prime example, just got a completely new look. Take advantage of that and give him completely new attacks as well. There's so much that could be done with this idea, and I really want them to get creative. Sure, many players would probably get mad at this, but times are changing, and I, for one, would love to get acquainted with new attacks for characters I already love playing as. Would definitely make things a lot more interesting, that's for sure. Last but certainly not least, the biggest thing we all look forward to with a new Smash is the new set of characters. Just who made it this time? I definitely have a wish list of characters I want in Smash Switch, so in no particular order, here's something I wanted to do for so long in the Smash franchise, and let me give you all the characters I would love to see the most. Or in other words, the ones that would automatically make this the best entry in the series. Let's go! Lyn from Fire Emblem. Yes, I know we have a ton of Fire Emblem characters, and if they can add another, it'll probably be from Shadows of Valentia or the new Switch game, but I don't care. Lyn is my favorite character, the most popular female character in the series according to the Heroes poll, and would make a great addition other than an assist trophy. Specifically her Blade Lord variant, as it would give her the option to fight with a sword and a bow, making for a fast, combo-oriented, and unique moveset amongst the many swordsmen already in Smash. Neku Sakuraba from The World Ends With You. Being that this game is getting a remake on the Switch, there's no better opportunity than now. Also, this is one of my top 3 favorite games, so Neku would be one of the most unique characters in the game, fighting by picking from the dozens of pin attacks in the game. Summoning ice pillars, slashing with pins, fire, shooting, throwing chains from across the screen. There's so much creativity to be had, which goes directly with what makes a great Smash fighter. Not to mention that we get the Tui soundtrack, which if you were unaware, is fucking incredible and justification enough. Pyra and Mythra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We got choked from the first one, so why not get a representative from the second? Rather than the protagonist, I and many others think it would be much more interesting to get the lead female. Or females, I don't know, Xenoblade's weird. You could have them be switchable like Zelda and Sheik once were, or make them separate, I don't know. The roster needs more female roles, and being that Xenoblade is becoming one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, it'll start to need more representatives. This one just seems to write itself. Issa or Kachi from Sin and Punishment Star Successor. This is a franchise that needs more love, and Pit is proof enough that all you need to save your series is to get a spot in Smash. Using their not lightsabers and guns would make for a great quick and nimble fighter who could float and turn into a crazy fusion for a final Smash. Either or is fine, being that they both play nearly identical in their game, maybe just have them be one slot and just variants of each other like Robin and Corrin did. Springman from ARMS. ARMS needs help, and the concept is crazy and fun enough to make for an interesting character in Smash. Grabbing people from across the stage, controlling your arms, and giving Smash attacks in exotic ways. What a fun idea just waiting to happen. Thank you, thank you. Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. Now we get into the third-party territory. If Namco Bandai is helping with development again, which I hope they are, they should be allowed yet another free spot in the upcoming game. The Tales series is a big one, and the biggest one to be put on a Nintendo console is Tales of Symphonia starring Lloyd. He would be our first dual-wielding swordsman, already making for something completely original and fresh. He would be a hell of a lot of fun to play as, and hey, that also means some great music from his game too. Being that his game also had a similar control scheme to Smash, this is yet another one that isn't too hard to do and is just waiting to be done. You want to keep him as a costume, or make him a great fully fledged character? Your call, Nintendo. Shovel Knight from Shovel Knight. There are 3 indie characters I would love to see, with Shovel Knight the face of indie games at this point, being the one I feel is the most deserving. No one fights with a shovel, so that already makes him one of a kind. There are many moves to be taken from his game. He could be a balanced character who slightly leans on the tanky side of things, and once again we get more fantastic music added to the mix. He'd be quite the addition, and the developers would love that as well, so why not? Gunvolt from Azure Striker Gunvolt. Now, personally, this is the indie character I want the most, being that Gunvolt 2 is my favorite indie game. He would be yet another creative and fun character since he has to tag enemies before attacking in his game. His standard special could be tagging followed by a flash field. His other specials would be moves requiring the opponent to be tagged before dealing damage, as a great way of building up your damage before sending them flying with an electric smash attack. Come on, that sounds awesome, doesn't it? Shantae from Shantae. Wow, such creative title names. My final indie representative, Shantae, is another example of why indie characters would be such great additions. They're all so different. Shantae could use her genie powers to transform into different animals for her various attacks, and of course use her hair whip as well. She'd be fun, a female addition, because we could always have more of those, and would be one of our few magic users. Plus, you know, soundtrack. I think that about covers it for all my Smash wishes. That was a lot. Who could blame me though? It's Smash. We all love it, and there's a lot of fun to be had with such a great series. If I want anything to be taken away from this video, it's that I want this next Smash to leave no stone unturned. Give me the gobs of content and great gameplay balance in Smash 4, but with the single player substance and care that Brawl and Melee had. Not to mention the charm that the original and Melee had with their beautiful openings and unique maps for each character in terms of the sub-games. It just feels like there are pieces scattered throughout each game, but when combined can make for a masterpiece. Even more so than the masterpieces we already have for this series. I don't know why this hasn't been done already, but let's do it. A system as wonderful as the Nintendo Switch deserves a game as wonderful as the Smash Bros. I'm hoping we get. It would only be fitting, wouldn't you say?